The concept of power and leadership. Early, we define leadership as the art of influencing the behavior of others, that is, making your subordinates or any followers willing to obey. Why people are influenced by some individuals and not others. Power is a useful concept to explain the social process of interpersonal influence. Power is a critical dimension of leadership, and it can be defined in much the same way as we define leadership. Power is the ability of an individual to control or influence others, to get someone else to do something that they would perhaps not otherwise do. Power refers to a capacity that Mr. A has to influence the behavior of Mr. B so that Mr. B acts in accordance with Mr. A's wishes. This definition implies two things, i.e., a potential that need not be actualized and a dependency relationship. Power may exist but not be used. It is, therefore, a capacity or potential. Someone can have power but not impose it. Probably the most important aspect of power is that it is a function of dependency. The greater B's dependence on A. The greater is A's power in the relationship. Dependence is based on alternatives that B receives and the importance that B places on the alternatives that it controls. A person can have power over you only if he or she controls something you desire. For example, if you want a college degree and have to pass a certain course to get it, and your current instructor is the only faculty member in the college who teaches that course, he or she has power over you. Your alternatives are highly limited, and you place high degree of importance on obtaining a passing grade. Bases of power. Bases of power, sometimes also called sources of power. The bases or sources of power are divided into two main categories: formal and informal powers. The formal powers are also called organizational or structural powers. The informal powers are sometimes called personal powers. Formal power is based on individuals' position in an organization. Formal powers can come from the ability to coerce, reward, or it can come from formal authority. But informal or personal power is the reverse of formal power. You don't have to have a formal position in an organization to possess this power. It's the power that comes from an individual's unique characteristics. John French and Bertram Raven identified 5 main bases of power. 3 of them are formal powers, and the rest 2 are informal powers. The formal powers are: 1. Legitimate power. This is the power stemming from a position's placement in the managerial hierarchy and the authority vested in it. When we accept job, we know we will receive work directions from our immediate boss and others in the hierarchy. Normally, we accept such directions as legitimate because these people hold positions of authority. Hence, legitimate power relates to a position rather than a person in isolation. 2. Reward power. This power is based on capacity to control and provide rewards valued by others. Most organizations offer an array of rewards, including pay rises, bonuses, interesting projects, promotion recommendations, a better office, support for training, assignments with high organizational visibility, recognition, positive feedback, and time off. The greater the manager's control over these rewards, the greater the manager's reward power. 3. Coercive power. Coercive power depends on the ability to punish others who not engage in desired behaviors. Forms of coercion or punishment include criticism, termination and reprimand, suspension, warning letters going into the individual's personal life, negative performance appraisal, demotion, and withheld pay rises. The greater the freedom to punish others, the greater the manager's coercive power. Informal or personal powers. 1. Expert power. Expert power is a power which is based on possession of expertise which others value. Managers often have considerable knowledge, technical skills, and experience critical to subordinate success. To the extent that leaders possess expertise and information needed or desired by others, they have expert power. 2. Referent power. It results from being admired, personally identified with, or liked by others. When we admire people, want to be like them, or feel friendship toward them, we will follow their directions and show loyalty to them. The more leaders can cultivate the liking, identification, and admiration of others, the greater their referent power. Of the three bases of formal power, coercive, legitimate, reward, and two bases of personal power, expert, referent, which one is most important to have? Interestingly, research suggests that the personal sources of power are most effective. Both expert and referent power are positively related to employees' satisfaction with supervision, their organization commitment, and performances, whereas reward and legitimate power seem to be unrelated to these outcomes. Moreover, one source of formal power, coercive power, actually can backfire in that it is negatively related to employee satisfaction and commitment. What is the difference between power and leadership? Power is the ability of an individual to exercise some form of control over another individual. On the other hand, leadership is the ability to create a vision, motivate people to work towards achieving the vision, coaching and building the team that will pioneer the completion of the vision and managing the end delivery of the vision. Power is generally controlling and forceful in making followers follow commands. Leadership involves inspiring the subordinates to complete tasks. Leadership requires power in order to be effective. However, power does not depend on leadership. One can have power but not be a leader. But all leaders require some form of power in order to successfully inspire subordinates. Power does not require goal compatibility, but dependence on leadership requires some congruence between the goal of the leader and those being led. A key difference between power and leadership is that power refers to the ability to influence or control others, often through a position or resource, while leadership focuses on inspiring and motivating others to achieve a shared goal, usually by building trust and aligning vision, implying that a leader can utilize power effectively, but not all powerful individuals are necessarily leaders. Essentially, power is a means, while leadership is a process of influence and motivation. Power is about control. Someone with power can force others to do something, often through coercion or positional authority. Leadership is about influence. A leader inspires and motivates others to follow willingly, often by building trust and sharing a vision. How they can overlap. Leaders often utilize power. A leader may leverage their position power to implement decisions or achieve goals. Not all powerful people are leaders. Someone with significant authority may not be considered a leader if they lack the skills to inspire and motivate others.